Right, so here we are once again with another video about the Samsung Galaxy S3. Now, yesterday I showed you a video about the screen difference, and you can see here the difference in the brightness. Don't worry too much, by the way, if you're seeing a flickering on the S3. The human eye, I can assure you, doesn't see that. Now, I have found out why the screen brightness is different, and that's because out of the box the S3 has a power saving option which appears to be turned on. Now it's good because obviously you want your battery to last a bit longer, but there's always that balance between like you see on maybe modern televisions now. Do you want the brightness down and use less power, or do you want to actually be able to see the picture? Now I noticed yesterday in direct sunlight especially you couldn't see the screen too well, so if you press this and you can suddenly see the screen. See how the power saving makes that difference in the brightness. So the auto brightness, it is set correctly. Yesterday I said it wasn't, but it is set correctly, but the power saving dips it down a little bit. Here you can see the two handsets have got a similar. The S2 has this information bar at the top. You can quickly turn on and off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, auto rotation. However, the S3 has a few more, including the Wi-Fi, GPS, sound and screen rotation, etc. It includes power saving, notification. You can turn on or off mobile data and driving mode and sync through this function here. And you can see that I've got the earphones connected to the device as well, and I'll show you in this video a bit more about what's in the box and the FM radio function on the S3. So here on the end of this lovely white set of headphone cables here, here's the headphones themselves. Very nice, thin, very well designed headphones, and they've got this in-ear grommets sort of thing, that in-ear bud, very soft in-ear bud. You get a selection of in-ear buds, so you can just pull off that in-ear bud and put in the one that suits your ear canal the best. They're very comfortable, very nice, and you also get a little remote control sort of thing here. There we go. So you can turn the volume up and down, and there's an action key there which does various things. This acts as your aerial for the FM radio, so you can't receive FM radio without this sort of plugged in. Now, also in the box is the micro USB connection cable. This end obviously goes into the phone. This end goes into your PC or into the charger. Now there's the charger itself, a very small Samsung branded charger, very nice looking thing. Obviously peel off this plastic here, the USB plug goes in there on the top. Here is the earth peg which pops out there depending on whether you need it in your particular country. This charger obviously doesn't need to be earthed, but it needs to be present to go into the socket. And then you get this. Samsung, all they need to do really to sell this around the world is change this little thing here. So here is the UK one, so that goes and slots into the bottom there. In the rest of Europe you get the European rounded 2-pin one, and obviously you can slot that down, you don't need that. That goes in there, that's your European one. And for the US, and you get the square 2-peg one, and obviously the one for your country is included in the box when you purchase it. Also in the box, which is here, sort of very small slimline box. Obviously lots of manufacturers now are deciding to use less and less packaging, which is good for the environment. You've got the quick start guide, and there's lots of I know most people never read instructions anymore on their phones, but there's some good funky things that this phone can do that you can learn off the quick start guide. I'll just show you one now. Now the FM radio, which we will fire up now, is on the first screen. So the FM radio, let's just activate that. Now it'll instantly give you a little bit of how to turn over the phone and use the motion in that way. Now here you can turn over the device to mute any incoming calls, message alerts, alarms and the media. So if you're at work, let's say, and you forget to turn your phone on to silent, or you only want it on silent for a few moments, you turn the phone over like that and it will not alert you or make a noise if you're in a meeting, because I know if you activate your silent mode, on your phone when you're at work, it can, it can sort of, you can forget to deactivate it when you go out for lunch or you go home again, and you end up missing calls. So just flipping the phone over like that is one good way to keep the phone quiet temporarily, and you won't miss any, or you won't be disturbed by the phone ringing and making a noise. Now, here's the FM radio. You need to turn it on by pressing that button. That turns on the radio. I've got it currently outputting via the external speaker. One thing to note, you have to have the cable plugged in. Obviously the antenna's aerial, the 3.5mm audio, the headphones need to be plugged in to act as your antenna. Now, out of the box, in the settings here, we didn't have this radio text enabled. I've turned that on now so I can see what station I'm actually listening to. And here you can see here it says Radio 1, and then down the bottom it'll actually say, using RDS, exactly who's broadcasting now, and other information like maybe the sort of music that's playing. So here you can see the Radio 1 Maida Vale session is being played, and you can adjust the frequency here using the left and right. So we can search up to the next one, to Classic FM, search up to the next one, which is Heart FM, and you can switch it to your earphones here. And it's coming out the earphones now. I don't know whether you can hear this, but it's quite loud at the minute. You can adjust it using the up and down volume controls here. It won't show that on the screen, but it will actually obviously turn down the volume in your ears. So keep pressing down, 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 down. That'll turn it down, up, 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 up. So that can control your experience that way. What we can do as well, let's have this sound coming out the speaker. Again, we'll turn the volume up. One thing we can do is just put our palm over the phone like this. And look what's happened. The playback of the FM radio has stopped. It's basically muted it. We do it again. And I think we need to unmute it again. So that's one way of just quickly muting the sound. So we have to turn it back up again manually by the looks of it. So if somebody wants to talk to you and wants to maybe stop this noise happening, you just quickly do that. And it mutes it instantly, and then you can turn it back up again. So that's one good way. That's one of the motion things that you can do with this phone. You can also take a screenshot by sweeping your hand across like that. And it'll take a screenshot of whatever you're looking at. So I've taken some shots there, and we can look at those in the gallery. Here's my gallery, just loading up here. You can see some of the shots that I've taken already. These are all screenshots that I've taken with the hand swipe motion. Also, what you can do, let's just hop back to the FM radio. Now, let's have a listen to this. I actually quite like this song. So just hop into the FM radio application there. You can press this little, see this little red sort of button on the top left. If we press that, it will record whatever you're listening to. So it's good for time shifting media. If you've got a station that you like listening to, you can maybe leave it recording, an evening show say, and then you can listen back to it. So you can even pause and edit out the DJs, etc., that you may not want to listen to. So I'll just record that, and then press stop, and then we can listen back. This is coming out by default in the headphones, obviously, but you can listen back to your audio, or you can even share it via email. Let's just try and do that now. And there you go. It's recording as a 3GA file, but you can sort of send it to yourself later on, listen to it on your computer or whatever, or you can share it in various other ways. But that's a good way of sort of time shifting your FM radio experience. If there's a show that you want to listen to, and you may be out of the area that it broadcasts in, you can do that. Now, what we can also do, let's go into the browser. Now this is a little tricky to show you, but let's give this a bash. Now the FM radio is still playing in the background. Now if I sort of double tap, sort of browse in, you can either browse around like that, or let's see if this works. You can, hopefully, if we don't press on some text, you can browse like, oops. Whether anybody would want to do this, I'm not sure, but you should be able to browse around, but it doesn't seem to be doing it for some reason. Let's try it on the main screen. If I've got a widget or something that I want to use, so let's have that FM radio again. Ah, that's why it wasn't working. Motion is disabled, so let's use motion. Now if I put the FM radio onto the main screen, let's say I don't want it on that particular tab, so let's move the handset that way, and move the handset this way, and you can see that I can, without having to move my thumb, I can put it onto a different tab. Now, let's see if the browser will work now. I don't think it's enabled. I've probably disabled it, but that's one of the things you can do. You can use the motion to actually move your widgets around. It's one of the cool things that you can do, and you can turn the phone around to sort of pause playback. Let's try another thing. That is apparently if I shake the phone, it will do a search for Bluetooth. But that doesn't seem to be turned on either. I've probably disabled that. And we can double tap the top to move to the top of. What we'll do, I think, is edit this video, but yeah, that's something I'll show you maybe in another video. But that's a bit more about the phone and what's in the box and the FM radio functionality.